2K TV? It's your boy K Mars. As you can see from the thumbnail, Lamelo Ball is headed to Minnesota to pair up with Anthony Edwards. Naz Reid is headed to Charlotte, as well as quite a few pick swaps. 2033 unprotected first round pick, 3 pick swaps, and 3 second-round picks that head to Charlotte in exchange for Lamelo Ball. In the past couple days, the Minnesota Timberwolves seem like they have been gearing up towards a move like this. Now, the order of operations in which they did it is what I have a gripe with. You traded Julius Randle, in which, in hindsight, was a big part in getting this done, I guess. But did Charlotte not want Julius Randle? Is that why the order of operations was what they were? I'm confused kind of, because a couple days ago, you signed Ayo Dosunmu to a $112 million contract based on what he did for you in the playoffs last year. I'm never going to hate on somebody getting their money. I'm talking about the Timberwolves as a roster, as an organization. So shout out to Ayo, but you just signed Ayo for $112 million. You traded Julius Randle, and that created a $33 million trade exception. And then in this trade to acquire Lamelo Ball, you give up essentially your only other big on the roster in Naz Reid, other than Rudy Gobert. And now you have Lamelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and Ayo Dosunmu making the lion's share of the cap on this team, the lion's share of the salary on this team. And it just, from a fit standpoint, it just doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, obviously, the Timberwolves needed a point guard. Obviously, Anthony Edwards needed a running mate. And I will never deny the talent of Lamelo Ball, and I honestly like them acquiring Lamelo Ball. Don't get it twisted. But what they did in order to do this, unless they have some more moves up their sleeves, I just don't understand how this roster is going to fill out when it comes to game one, when it comes to the season start. I mean, it's very early. It's super early in the offseason. This trade technically isn't even official yet on paper, but you have Lamelo Ball, you have Anthony Edwards, you have Jaden McDaniels, you have Rudy Gobert. That's a strong 4 out of 5 in your starting lineup. As we know, Dante DiVincenzo will miss the majority of next year, if not all of next year. So Ayo Dosunmu, who just got paid, it looks like he'll be coming off the bench. I don't know why he wasn't included in the Lamelo Ball trade. If they weren't so quick to move on the Julius Randle thing, I think whether you keep Randle or Naz Reid, it puts you in better shape acquiring Lamelo Ball. I think that's the case with both teams. Charlotte may have made an even bigger dumbass move because, yes, you needed size. You could use some depth at the big man position, but you traded your franchise player in Lamelo Ball for size, for somebody who came off the bench last year for Minnesota, who, in my opinion, this is no disrespect to Naz Reid, but in my opinion, from what he's been able to do, whether that be from a lack of opportunity or not, he hasn't really shown anything as a starter in this league, let alone as someone who you trade your franchise piece for. Now, mind you, I'm not a fool. I know how the NBA works. Lamelo Ball is up for a contract extension next year, and obviously the Hornets were not willing to partake in that business, but I could only imagine the offers that they would have if they just made him readily available on the market. It is said that they did not shop Lamelo Ball, but instead were listening to offers. I want to hear the other offers, because basically you just traded Lamelo Ball, who has been the catalyst, the engine of that offense for Naz Reid. I really want to stop saying Naz Reid in this video because it sounds like I'm disrespecting him, but I'm really disrespecting the front office of Charlotte and what they gave up in this. I mean, yes, you have Kobe White, but have we seen Kobe White lead an offense, lead a team into the playoffs as the primary ball handler, as the lead guard? Hell no. I mean, they have spacing and Concanipple. I love Brandon Miller. You bring in Naz Reid, which means they probably are going to have to move Miles Bridges at this point, who is also making money. From both sides, maybe I need more time to process this trade, but I don't like this shit at all. I don't. It doesn't make sense. Minnesota's in a better spot than Charlotte, obviously, acquiring the talent, but they still have some holes to fill as well. Jaden McDaniels played out of his mind last year, especially in the playoffs. I love those pieces. As I said, 4 out of their 5 starters are going to be dynamite, but filling out the rest of the roster, like I said, with injury to DiVincenzo and them literally not having a power forward on the roster, let alone a backup center, I'm interested to see how this shapes out. I mean, the best bet for me right now, when I look at this roster, is starting Isaiah Evans, who you drafted in the 2nd round at small forward, and moving McDaniels to the 4. I think we've seen this before. I think this is very similar to the Milwaukee Bucks post-championship, how they kind of tried to maneuver around contracts and stay competitive. But the difference is the Bucks were able to win a championship in the midst of the prime of Giannis Antetokounmpo, while Anthony Edwards is still looking for his first championship in Minnesota. And while he has stayed loyal to this franchise up to this point, I think we have seen the writing on the wall, and we've seen this story before. This is kind of like Minnesota saying, well, you know, we gave you, we traded for Lamelo, we cleared up cap space, we did what you asked, and I think it's gonna come down to the point where in a few years Anthony Edwards will be asking out, and probably Lamelo Ball as well. You got a Cali kid and a Atlanta kid in cold Minnesota on a team that really doesn't show a path to the NBA Finals. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But as of right now, I think this is just like Milwaukee trading for Dame and trying to prolong them moving on from their superstar in a small market. I think that's exactly what this is. But I could be wrong. LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards could be the next dynamic duo in the NBA, but I doubt it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.